Boom! Right. John, it's your morning. And this morning we are catching a bus up north to the UK. I'm watching these things fly in every day. This is what it is. Here comes mine too, so I'm gonna have to get in here with you. Holy shit, here comes our plane, our train, our automobile. I hope this morning with all my bags and my snacks that I have some munchies on the train when I'm headed up to Darlington this morning. I'm going to King's Cross, and I hope that my signal won't get lost. There you go. I made that rhyme like a boss. Let's get in here, shall we? Please. This is typical day in England. Everybody's got to take the tube, the underground, the London Underground, to make their lives better than it is. I'm gonna put this here. We see. Got plenty of shit to do. Put the bags down. Do what I gotta do. That's right. That's right. Still got my designs. Almost fell over. And blessings. Boom, baby. Boom. Let's get this show going. Still got the shine going. Let's see what we can do with this morning motivation. Your boy Marky Saint's Addiction. It's a blessing. You decide your blessings. It's a very interesting thing to say, but I was kind of talking to this girl in Norway, and she was on some. Well, you check some of my boxes, and I'm like, we tend to box ourselves out when we have boxes, right? We tend to identify things as good or bad instead of as the way that they are, and unfortunately, we end up putting these things in a box that they'll never climb out of. It's almost like being in the friend zone, or not understanding your own reality. I should probably show outside too. It's one of those things, right, that we all do when we are trying to show the view and talk on the show at the same time. You already know what my face looks like, but I'm gonna let you see what England looks like during the daytime, and then we're gonna have this conversation. So think about it this way. You put something in a box and say, okay, this thing's bad, and then I can continue to think it's bad. Like, I'm bad at math, I'm bad at names, I'm bad with girls, and you'll continue to stay inside that box for Lord knows how long. You know what I mean? It's one of those things that we all do. We'll just say, oh, it sucks, this sucks, that sucks, and we'll keep our attitude in that lane. We'll keep that attitude just like this was a certain lane. Your lane will be decided by your attitude, right? And if you decide to be combative with people, or misconstrue things, or take things personally, odds are that now all of a sudden that's the way it's going to be. And you're always going to foresee that person as the type of person that fucks with your mind or the outcome, and not believe in a cause and effect. They don't believe that they caused what had happened to them. It's just an effect, right? And unfortunately, it's beyond that. It's a choice. More than that, it's a decision. So we'll start deciding. Oh shit, I'm in the tube. I was about to say. Then we'll start deciding, do we like someone? Do we not like someone? And then we'll start treating them under that new motive, that new operandi, that new set of data and decision that we made. Now it puts it in that box that things are good and bad. And as the owner of Saints Addiction, I don't make those decisions like that. I know things have both dichotomies, right? So even if someone nice is in front of me, I have to ask them what's their alternative motives. And in your own world, we all have ulterior motives, dudes. We always have something else, like, why am I near this person? Well, because I like their energy, or I want to go meet them. I had my friend go all the way drunk midnight in Las Vegas calling me going, I want to go see this one bartender. We have hope in our hearts, so we move in that direction. Oh shit, look how dark it got. Hope in our hearts, and we start moving in that direction, and then we forget the decision that got us there in the first place. And that's what ends up happening in our lives, is we forget that we are making decisions pretty quick. We forget that we are people every day under our own devices making decisions, and under those decisions, under those attitudes, we tend to choose our lane. We tend to choose what people end up wanting to do, right? They end up wanting to be what do you call it? They end up wanting to be free of accountability or outcomes when lo and behold we are reaping what we sow. So it's really a tough decision that we all got to make. People, am I going to respond like in a personal way, or am I going to respond in a way that's like I understand people and I want them to understand me? Deeper understanding has longevity. It has a bonus effect in the long term, that you didn't make a war between somebody or misconstrue something so that way they think that you were giving them a back talker attitude. And this is the rude thing that we do. It's not like you're necessarily being rude. Most people are nice, you know what I mean? I always say that most people are nice, or they think that they're nice, but then you'll be in a mood, you'll have your attitude, the thing that you said you wouldn't be, and unfortunately a lot of people operate that way, and that's what we do. We're doing it from instincts, we're doing it from emotion. We'll get emotionally triggered, and then we'll start acting like a child. We'll start playing takeaway. I was telling this girl, I said, oh, so you believe in punishment? And she was like, what do you mean? And I was like, well, if you mean you're not going to talk to me for the rest of the night because I said you're a sassy bitch, you took the word bitch and only hang out to this. I'm like, it's a phrase, it's a sassy bitch, but it could be like a dog, a sassy bitch or something that I sent. Then guess what it's going to be? You're going to be in that mood. You're going to choose your mood, dude. And I always say that about the weather, but goddamn, dude, we all end up choosing our moods, and we're wondering why we end up being rude. We end up wondering why we got a little ant in our pants, or sauce, too much sauce, or too much tude, and we'll be like, how the fuck did we get so rude? Well, this is our choice. We made a choice to start taking things personally, or deciding to communicate people on a level where there's only win or loss with them. So we go all in, and then we end up losing friends, or we end up losing people, and sometimes that's what needs to happen. You know what I mean? People come and go, but I like to be a winner in all transactions, and I know life's not perfect, and that's what I was telling the girl. You can't have it all. She said, who says I can't have it all? You said I can't have it all. I'm like, life says we can't have it all. I mean, we all want it all. There's a whole list of it. It was like, you can't find a guy pick and choose one or three out of the five. And it was like, he's over 5'9", gives good dick. What's the other one? Has empathy. Little things like that end up adding up. And we end up going like, you know what? You're right. In life, not all our boxes get checked. And I think a lot of people wait on deck because they're waiting for all they're waiting for all the boxes to get checked, and unfortunately, life's not like that, dude. Life doesn't give us any promises. It doesn't owe us shit, and all of a sudden we get bent because life didn't give us what we asked for or what we believe we need. So it's one of those things where I look at things and I'm like, you know what? We could be so much better, right? We could be in opportunity. That's where I want to stay. I want to stay in the opportunity that I can still communicate with people, that I can still get along and say the right things, and that I don't miss opportunities because I was in an attitude or I misinterpreted the person the wrong way, and then I took a chip on my shoulder and I held that chip on my shoulder and continued to talk with chips on my shoulders. How many people out there can admit when they're being chipped? Being real, bro. Like when you're like felt salty or in some sort of way where you took it as a personal offense to everything. And that's what we end up doing. We end up telling ourselves that this person doesn't like us, or we assume this person doesn't like us, or we assume the situation's fucked up. And then as soon as we get a chance, we start getting fucked up. We start taking things with a grain of salt. And it says, it's supposed to just be a little bit of grain, but it becomes sandpaper to us. And we make it so hard and we make it so rough, and we end up rubbing off the top layer of skin and getting ourselves strawberries and getting burnt because we feel like these people don't understand us, or it's their fault, or I was just responding, and all those can be valid. I lived in a world like that, but when I wanted to change my world, right, changing the world, and I wanted it to look a little bit different, like when I'm traveling, it also means my mentality too. So it's like, do I hop on every chance to be right? That's a big mistake that people make, right? You decide when you want to be right. Oh, I'm right. Let me cross my arms, stick my heels in the dirt, and then be extra obtuse, extra avert to understanding. Now I'm in a position of hold, and I can't understand more because I haven't received. Is this something that I take on, like we were talking about with the other book the other day with what's it called? mindset, and this open mindset where it's like, oh, I'm learning or I'm offended. And it's really a real big question, because if you want to get offended, you'll find ways to get offended. You'll find ways to uncheck boxes. You'll find ways to not get along with people. And the world just doesn't bend to us. Okay, I'm gonna say that again. The world doesn't bend to us. We have to bend with the world. Like right now, I'm bending with the world because I've never been to England before. I've never, well, I have been to England before, but when I'm here, when in Rome, that's what I gotta be. That's something that a lot of people misconstrue. And I told the girl, like, not for nothing, I see a lot of women that want to be with men, but they don't want to build men. They want them to come pre-packaged with batteries, and we do not come pre-packaged with batteries. We actually need work to be done for us. So like my ex, she wanted me to have empathy and talk about her ex and talk about her divorce, and I was like, nah, dude, that's your divorce, that's your situation. I'm not getting in your situation to talk about your divorce or be your counselor or psychologist and constantly talk about your ex. That's not what I'm here for. I'm the new version. And she had a tough time getting over the old version, so it polluted the new version. And that's our mindsets. We end up polluting our future versions of ourselves because we'll be like, no, that's not the way that I operate. And it's like, do you have the flexibility to operate differently? Do you have the knowledge and wherewithal to be able to get some people skills, and like we talked about politics and people, to get the result that you want? And I want better results out of interactions with people. I want them to be leaving my presence as not feeling like they got or taken, but understood and loved. And that's a real hard thing to do. I mean, that's almost on some Jesus type shit, and I'm not Jesus, so sometimes, most of the time, I don't even want to count it how many times I've made mistakes and treated people with a disdain, or hey, I've even judged people too, or been rude, like don't talk to us, non-inclusive. This is one of the tenets for Burning Man, is to be radically inclusive. I like to smile at people. I like to make eye contact to let them know that another human near them is happy and not a threat to them. But if we keep perceiving things as threats, just like this girl kept doing, she kept saying, like, I feel like I give up too easily, and then I feel it's like it's not meant for me. And I'm like, you didn't even try hard. My whole life is all about try hard. Like, if you want to be the things to be, I don't know what this other one is. When you want it to be something, you got to put effort into it. It's not just going to just fall out of the sky and on your lap and be perfect. You got to shape it. Oh, that's not it. But most people don't do that. Most people expect other people to do it for them. Or going to make a meal out of what you got in your refrigerator, or you're going to complain that you don't have any food in the refrigerator. How many of us do that? Dude, you want to put an attitude on it. You want to snuff your nose at things that don't work. And unfortunately, that's what we're doing. We're ruining our blessings. And it could be an extremely bright light and a really fortunate event. And we turn to be acting like we're unfortunate. We start acting like we don't have any clothes, or that we don't have air in our lungs, or that we don't have the day to be bright. My friend wanted to watch football yesterday. I'm like, I'm not going to be inside all day. I didn't know what I was going to do yesterday. But next thing I know, I'm going out of the National Gallery, which was free. Only had to wait 15 minutes. Also got to see Trafalgar Square. Also got to see fucking what's his face up top, your boy Lord Nelson's Tower. All of that was amazing. And I'm like, wow, I got right back here. This is exactly where I wanted to be. I said, if I ever come back here, I want to go into that museum. Done. Came outside, and the guy, I'm like, is that Parliament? He's like, yeah, come over here. He's like, and I'm like, that's Big Ben. If I can see it, I can walk to it. And guess who got to hang out at Big Ben at 4:20 and get high? Morning motivation, right here. Your boy Saint. No lie, actually, let's talk about morning motivation. Let's get some. That's what ends up happening. We end up forgetting ourselves. We end up forgetting our energy. We end up forgetting Satoka Roken in the morning. We forget to get our buzz on. Get yours a smoking review. I think they're like $30, but yeah. I just blew that up in here. Let's see if anybody cares. Nobody's gonna say shit. Life's too quick, and that's what ends up happening. We make decisions so fucking quickly that we don't even know that we're in a decision. We don't even know that we're in one of our boxes. We just started to get on a mission with our feelings and emotions, and we start letting that be the locomotive and moving this train. And then it's coal that makes this train roll. Be light. You know, I want it to be that kind of energy that makes me smile and makes other people smile, instead of creating space or creating polar opposites or creating a race or creating a war or creating a battle or creating a game or creating any of this type of shit where it's only just one winner, one loser. I'm trying to get somebody to leave my presence feeling like they got to hear or be felt like they got heard or got the outcome of it that I wanted or deserved. And that's something that we really tend to do often as human beings, is we'll start putting up false expectations appearing real, fear, false expectations appearing real. We'll start to preconceive notions and start, like I told her, you start punishment. And I was like, well, what if I don't talk to you for a day? Now we're in a loggerhead. Now we're both wanting to punish each other and see who's in power. And I don't like those kind of situations. That means I'm already out of power when I have to compete with you or dick measuring contests or any of that other shit that we all end up doing. You were in your mind already setting yourself up for the loss. You were in your mind already setting yourself up for a competition, and that means the person isn't showing up with friendliness in mind. Just like in business, now it's like cutthroat. Now it's like, I'm gonna cut your throat to get ahead. I'm gonna cut your throat to prove my point. I'm going to ruin this relationship and moment because I want to be right, or I want it to be the way I want it to be, or I'd rather be in control, or instead of like, there's a real manipulation. If you want to talk about it for reals, what do they call it in the book? The laws of power, it's the laws of influence. No, he wrote the book. It's when you seduce, the power of seducing people. We're seducting all the time. And if you're being nice to people in the street and you want them to come through and you want them to how many times have we fucked up the outcome, even if we wanted it, but our attitude showed up, mouth wrote a check our ass couldn't carry, our ass couldn't cash, and then we were worried or we were surprised that the situation wasn't what we intended it to be. And that's what we end up doing. We end up saying, hey, you know what? I want to be feisty today. I want to be hard to get. And then we're like, you know, that's what we end up doing. We end up being hard to get. And that's something that I just didn't want to do anymore. I didn't want to go any more further than, excuse me, does this go to King's Cross?
I don't know.
You don't know?
No.
Excuse me, love. Does this go to King's Cross? If I say King's Cross, does this go to King's Cross? Yeah, that's what he told me. Stafford. I have to get off and get another one? Alright, let's do it. I kind of knew that about Stafford. I've been kind of paying attention, so, you know, it's one of those. Hold tight. Wait for it. Mind the gap. Alright, so here we are in the street. Excuse me, how do I get to King's Cross? King's Cross, yeah? No say? Okay. Yeah, bro, if you ever get a chance, get yourself over to where you can be free from mental slavery. And part of that mental slavery is telling yourself that I'm all the time, I think I'm right all the time, and I have no room to breathe with anyone else. That's what ends up happening. And when I do that. Hello, brother. How do I get to King's Cross?
King's Cross.
I was almost on this line.
It's to Liverpool Street and change.
Still? Okay,
Yeah.
Thank you. Perfect. So I got off to get back on. How fucking awesome is this? How fucking awesome is this? I'll wear this one. Yes. He said Liverpool Street. Yes, my mate told me that, but it is Liverpool Street. I'll just keep my bags on me. This thing's fucking crazy. If you ever get a chance, get in the tube. Your boy's saying has so many things not to be rude.
London Overground lines and National Rail Services.
Yeah. When I get it. All right, perfect. So when we get a chance to interact with people, when we get a chance to see other souls, a lot of us end up burying our nose into a phone, avoiding the whole situation, avoiding the situation of connection, and seeing other people and seeing ourselves in those situations. We'll end up being in our own minds. I saw so many people the other day on the train just with the 1,000-yard stare. Just their bodies are there, but their soul isn't. You feel me? And that's unfortunate because that's what ends up happening with us as people is we have a chance to be awesome. And that's what I want people to get from Saints Addiction. I wanted them to flip Abba. I wanted them to flip their negatives into positives. I wanted them to turn their habits into rituals. I wanted them to be a better version of themselves. And the only way to do that is to break up the bad version of yourself. And that's like plaque or heart disease or any other fucking thing that we have in our lives. We're the ones that have to build it up. We're the ones that built it up, and then we're surprised that we have a heart attack on the doctor's bed. It's up to us. That's why I keep saying you decide. You decide when you're throwing cookies in your mouth. I know I do. Or if you want to grab a salad, I know I do. Or how much fried food or fast food would we eat? There's like so many decisions that add up. And usually you start better in the morning and get more devilish towards the night. You know, more angel in the morning, devilish at night, definitely mostly sane. And then we just actually want to talk, or do we go into situations where we're like, who's there? Oh, I'm going to have to dress a certain way. Oh, I don't like that person. Oh, I don't want to go do that. Now you're just putting up more boxes. I'm just saying yes to everything. It's like, when are you going to go? Yes. Not a time. It's a place, it's a destination, and unfortunately we live in a world where we'll be like, everything has to be put in a fucking box. You're in a box, you're in an apartment, you're in a house, all these boxes, and then they never leave their city, they never leave their fucking state, they never leave their country. My friend was like, I've always wanted to go to London, and I'm like, this is my second time being here. I should pinch myself that this is so real. And now that I'm on a train, it reminds me of being at the BTK, the bus, Bangkok transportation system, flying around all over the world, being on planes, trains, and automobiles, being able to say, I don't care about the money. I care about my freedom. I care about my health. But, you know, mental health, bro, this is the most important thing that I'm always talking about, is how's your mental health? And most people, their mental health isn't their priority. Their image is their priority. Being right is their priority. And if I didn't choose to be right, arguing with my ex, I'd have my baby right now, bro. For me, I wanted to prove that I was in control. And the only way I could show control is to be a bully and be more energy and more power. And I can at least admit that. And now that I can admit it, I can do better. And that's all I'm talking about with people. It's just like, dude, you got to kind of see yourself. You got to see how you operate and how your interactions are going. It's not oopsie-coxie. It's not 1 and 2. You know what I mean? And how do you vibe with people? Are you the type of person that makes people nervous? Are you the type of person that makes people feel weird? Are you the type of person that makes them feel loved? A lot of questions here. So it's like one of these things that I'm glad I'm doing my show now, because it's so weird to be in life and not learn people and not learn yourself. Knowledge itself is true knowledge, and being able to say, okay, this is how I operate, and this is how I continue to want to operate in my life. So, you know, when we all have a life, it's just how do we treat it? Start treating yourself more than an NPC or a non-player. Start treating yourself as a player. Like, what do I want out of this life? You know, what do I want? A gang, you know? I want a wife. I want a life. I want a baby. I want these things. I want rich. I want to be I'm healthy. I want to be wealthy. I want all these things. I want to be happy. And the only way to get to there, right, is through you. Straight the fuck up. It's the way you are. And you're like, you know what? I would have been a millionaire already if I didn't keep showing my attitude through awesome situations. Right? I would have been a father by now if I didn't keep showing my attitude in bad situations. I would already have done multiple of things if I had got out of my own way. That's the motivation of the day. To get out of your own way, that's like fucking magic, bro. That's mental magic that we all can participate in, but most of us, we don't. Most of us just stay in our own way. That's just the way that I am, and I'm bad at names, I'm bad at math, and just stay bad, bro. Stay mad. Don't go nowhere, bro. Don't ever change your own habits so you can get your own outcomes different. This is exactly what it is. You can't possibly expect to win the fight, Adesanya, unless you put in the work like you did, and now you knocked Homeboy out last night. Thank you for that. 5:55 in the morning in England, I'm watching them screaming, oh my God, he fucking got him, he knocked him out, oh my God. I was on the case, bro. So all of us, we have a case. It just matters if we're on it. And most of us ain't on the case. Most of us are all in our own heads or in our own face. And like, how do I look more than how do I act, right? Oh shit, I'm going the wrong way. I don't know clue where I'm going. But yeah, welcome to Mind the Gaps. Welcome to the middle of England and transportation. And I'm so grateful that my life, it's amazing that there's so many people in England. This is the tube, the underground, the London Underground. I'm here to get off at King's Cross and head up north to Arlington. It's quite the view, you know. A lot of people, man, it's fucking crazy. This whole thing is just intense to me. So when I'm not being tense on me, and when I tend to have more listening, then I have less altercations. And if I tend to flatter and flirt with the cook, I get bigger portions. So it's one of those, isn't it? 1:23, I'm on time. That's my choice. You know, you can choose to be rude. You can choose to have a, resting bitch face on, or a bad attitude, or just being rude in general. Guess what? Motherfuckers gonna cut you short. They're gonna cut you off, and they're not gonna call you. And that's when we end up being so isolated in these new worlds, is we are all expecting other people to, to bend to our will, I guess. And form around us. I think it comes with too many options in life. You think because you can get all the sauces and flavors in McDonald's that you deserve all the women or every style of woman. No, you only got a couple women that are your style, and she's your style as well, and checking multiple boxes. How about just having companionship, for fuck's sakes? Made everybody's waiting for the perfect date and not going on any dates. That's what ends up happening. We end up getting stuck, bro. Let me make this statement real quick. We end up getting stuck, bro. We end up thinking that the world owes us something. And if it doesn't come with the right package or the right bow, then fuck it, throw it away. Like, excuse me? Nothing in my life has worked out. Even when I'm traveling with you now, dude, things can go wrong or weird, and there's the Elizabethan line. It just is what it is. It's not like life is just not perfect. And for us to put conditions or check boxes or be rude to it, guess what life's gonna be? Rude to us, man. Straight the fuck up. Rude to us. And I'll spit it out too. Nice. So, if you don't want life to be mean to you or rude to you, I suggest that you get your shit together. And by shit together, I don't mean just get a business and stack your money. The only way I get to maintain my business is by maintaining my attitude and maintaining my mood. So if I want to continue to be rude, well, guess what my effects will be? God damn, this is beautiful. Look where I am this morning. Wow. I'm in the underground. Fucking England. This looks just like Harry Potter lived here, bro. King's Cross, eh? Well, I'm here. Your boy Marky Saint. Birds are here too. How fucking crazy is this place? I'm gonna get into this architecture. That's amazing, bro. So, welcome to King's Cross, Liverpool Street Station. It's your boy Marky Saint. I'm getting it. I'm getting in where I fit in, and I highly suggest you do too. Just get that mood right, because it's unfortunate when we don't treat ourselves right or treat others right, and we wonder why our information gets fucked up. Well, guess what? It's on us. And now you know how much accountability and power you have. And that's your morning motivation. All my heart from the start. Your boy Marky Stain still shining. Get on that Saints Addiction. Get on that like, share, and subscribe, because this is where I go live. Everybody in this bitch, but I love my life, and I get blessed to be able to live it. So I want you to start living yours with respect. Respectfully. Peace and love. I'll see you on the other side. Chigathon. That means goodbye, but not forever finish. And soon I'll be in Finland.